Hey everyone, this is the Kubeflow SDK and an email experience call on 22nd of April, 2026. We're going to record this call and we're going to publish on YouTube, and as always, we follow the CNCF code of conduct. So today, we're going to start the first call. Actually, before we start, any new people who are on the call who just want to say hi, introduce yourself, or we can jump directly to the agenda items. All right, then I guess we can get started. So yeah, go ahead. Hannah, you want to share Kale updates?
Sure, thank you. So I'm part of the group that's been working on the Kale 2.0 build, and we are finally ready to do the 2.0 release into the community. So thank you so much to everyone that has helped work on that in the last year or so. Um, our plan for today is thank you, Anya, that we are doing our release to the release candidate, and then we'll do the sanity checks. And if everything's green there, then we'll release to main, and that will be the 2.0 release. And we want to be clear that this is branching. So main is going to be 2.1 and above. Um, all of our release blockers have been fixed, and we did include some new documentation. So I can just share that quickly. And I haven't screen shared on Zoom in a while, so bear with me.
Yep. Let's see.
You can see it. Okay, great. Is this bar in the way?
Yep.
Okay,
That was
how
good.
does that look? Perfect. So this is the Kale repo, and it's got just this general README, which you can look through if you want. It's kind of long. There are some requirements just for running Kale in general, and then there are some specific ones for contributing. We're happy to answer any questions in the CNCF Slack channel as well if you have any trouble while you're trying to install it and run it. And we also included some documentation specifically for LLMs. So I know most people are coding with those these days. If you would like to see that, you want to come to the docs and then source. And this contains a lot of different documentation about architecture, the general getting started guide. These contain a lot of the MD files for how you should run this. So an LLM can work on this, or it's human readable. You can just come and look at it yourself. There are a lot of screenshots for what you should be seeing if you've started running Kale and started working on it. If it's not looking right to you, please let us know. There's certainly still some things we probably haven't found. So if you're seeing any bugs, feel free to let us know or make a ticket in the community. And yeah, we hope you enjoy using it. I know Eder has some updates as well.
Yep, we use it, just Andre and others. Thank you so much for we just copied the way that SDK does, and Stefano just copied it, and we are using the same frameworks that we are using there. The only last step that we need to do that now we merge the docs in the main is to put the read docs and trigger the build for us. And then Andre, we are going to talk with you about having a domain for Kale, if possible.
Yeah, let's definitely register the domain. You mean the kale.qflow.org, right?
Yep, yes,
Anyway,
exactly. Yeah, Kale, that's the Kubeflow water, exactly. And then
okay.
that's the next step. And you do the branching today. If nobody complains that it requires a feature on the chapter, I'll do the release candidate. And now, so we finished the interviews for the GSOC, and we are talking with the GSOC team on the Kubeflow to share the results soon. And after that, hopefully next week, you're going to start to discuss what you're going to do in 2.1 and move forward. And our plan is to do releases monthly after that.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like for the branching, I'm wondering why you didn't create branch in the first place when I have alpha tech.
Yeah,
Like,
I was doing branching. I was planning to do branches just for release candidates.
hmm, okay.
And the CI didn't take the first one, but from next we all release candidates will have branches.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, we cut the branch and then, we have a sourced RC of
Hmm.
this branch, and then you can, have a
Yep.
next patch version. Yeah, I think this is great. Like, I think, definitely. Do you think about some sort of blog post, maybe announcement? Okay.
Yes, we are working with Hannah,
Mm-hmm.
myself, and Stephanie are going to do some announcement. We will let probably Stefano to publish because it's his baby, and he
Yeah.
works, and then we are going to do the
Yeah.
follow-ups on that.
Yeah, definitely. So do you plan to publish this in the blog.kubeflow.org, like where we
Exactly.
publish all?
As soon as I do
Okay.
the release, and my next task will be to update Kubeflow documents to put on the repo with
Hmm.
everything there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's definitely like work on a blog post. Maybe the outreach team also can help you to, promote this and to make this announcement
Yeah.
everywhere. I'm kind of like also wondering, so for the notebooks integration, did you talk to Matthew or Eder? What should
Yes.
be not Eder, like other folks from notebooks team, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. We talked. We are already aligned in the version that we're using for Jupyter. So we are using the
Okay.
same version. That's why I'm waiting for the bump from them from last week. And now the next step is to include in the image by default.
All right. That's good. Anything else here?
Don't think so. Thank you so much, and you keep everybody posted in the Slack.
No, I think thank you for this work. I mean, great work for like from your team and for other folks being involved. Definitely, I think as we discussed, it's a huge step to allow scientists to do work much more efficiently. I wish like the notebooks team and other folks can really understand the value of Jupyter in all
Mm-hmm.
this ecosystem. And like we see. And we definitely can share like more in the future how we really adopt Jupyter, like at scale. Like, yeah, I don't know if you remember, like, but some time ago we talk about how UI can be stored within Jupyter, and how we can build those micro front ends in a way that it could be,
That's
adopted, right?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
next step. That as a
yeah.
part of 2.1 is talk with Stefano and you and others like in the community. What is the first component that we should bring? I think you're going to start by the show status of the runtime pipelines and then move
Hmm.
forward for our my train of thought with Stefano is that everything that SDK supports should have some sort of visualization in KO.
Like within Jupyter, right? You mean like Kale should
No.
kind of, yeah, yeah,
In KO extension, like if you
yeah,
fire
yeah,
a job for a training job with
yeah.
SDK, we should have some
Okay.
feedback inside Jupyter on KO. We're going to start by the pipelines.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Makes sense. Definitely.
It will be
So
super
let's
fun.
definitely continue.
Yeah,
I agree. Sorry guys, let me like I need to share my screen, but I think I couldn't do
sure.
it because I need to enable the. Yeah, actually, can you see it right now? I think it should
Yes, we
be.
can. We can. Yeah.
All right, all right. That's great. That's great. Let me. Okay, sounds great. So again, great work. Let's follow up on this after we release 0. I think there are all the things we can do within
Yeah.
Kale and Jupyter
Exactly.
overall.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish we can build this user centric experience within Jupyter
Exactly.
Lab.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So talking
Thank
about
you.
the KFP, yeah. Michael, are you here, right?
Yeah, hey.
Yeah. So do you want to share a quick updates, like where we are in the KFP integration?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you for all the comments, very helpful. And so I'm going to make a couple of changes, stuff like the constructor where we're going to update the base URL to be optional. There's timeout removed from the wait for run status, etc. So there are these items that are already agreed on, and there is 6 remaining open discussions that ideally we need some input on. So some of these are waiting for Matt. I think one is waiting for your feedback, Andre, and I can go through these items here. I can go through them on the
Yeah.
KFP call later on, whichever you prefer, or I can just give a general update and let Matt maybe, because I think he was away, so he
Let's
might
quickly.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so Drab, like, let's try to quickly go through open items you have, like maybe questions to us. Could you maybe share the comment thread, like where we didn't find agreement yet?
Sure, yes. So now I can add the document I have to the meeting notes, if that's okay. It's just it's quite lengthy, so you might want to delete it later on if you. I don't
Yeah,
want
but I mean,
to.
at least some open questions if we have to the folks here. Like, do we? I guess, like I mean, just to zoom out, like we're on track. Definitely, I think we have a really great phase one user experience. I really like how API looks like, and I think the KFP team also agree that this is definitely the good first step, right? I think we have some discussion around iterator, if I remember correctly, right, and list pipelines, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have the
Yeah,
question.
good.
Yeah. So we have the question on the iterator. That's the first one, right? Here we are just so the proposal I got is adding the limit as a total item cap, extending the iterator because Matt asked basically a question: how does he how would the users avoid fetching everything from like a busy cluster? So I think the item cap makes sense, but we're just waiting for Matt's feedback on that. Then we have the run pipeline open item is about agreeing on the pipelines client upload and dot run versus the upload underscore pipeline and run pipeline. That's the two options that I think you've listed, Andre. Again,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're talking about whether we should, yes. So whether we should call it run pipeline or just run, right? For the API level.
yes, again, and the upload versus upload pipeline.
Yeah, I think this discussion, right? I know, like, Annie, you raised several concerns for you, like run is too generic and you kind of prefer to have it upload a pipeline and run pipeline. I kind of like, I'm fine with both approaches. I guess, like, run and upload just make us consistent with other clients. But I think the question when we introduce the recurrent run, do you think that, pipelines client dot recurrent run feels confusing in the future? Or it should be fine?
Sorry, is it a question to me or Michael?
Yeah, maybe to both of you, like you can start like from your perspective.
I'm out of the loop regarding the recurring runs. Could you please elaborate a little bit there?
Yeah. So like in the phase 2 or 3, we discussed that, KFP today supports recurrent runs. And this is the way how, like users might want to trigger a pipeline, like run from the pipeline, which runs, every week or every day. And we should have a maybe separate date. Like we can have a both ways, right? So the one way is to introduce parameter on the run API. And a second approach is to introduce a separate API call. Maybe having as a parameter, I would say better because, we have one single create call, right? And then we can, like parameterize it, similar to how we do with the train API. So if you go with this approach, and if you might also agree, maybe single, function makes sense, right?
Yeah, the parameter sounds good to me. And also, I'm kind of happy to go with the whatever option it is when we have the pipelines client.run. I know I'm changing my mind here, but it feels aligned with other clients because that's the only verb that we use without any nouns after that, like
Yeah.
the optimizer client dot optimize, trainer client dot train, and so on. But for all other APIs, I think we should keep the like upload pipeline and so on. That makes sense.
Do you feel the uploads just itself sounds confusing? Like,
Because we have other APIs, like I upload from YAML or whatever APIs there are, right? Which we would add. And
from my
then,
understanding, oh, it's finish again. Good.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I like maybe I miss like from my understanding the upload from YAML will be part of the upload function, right, Michael? Like it will be just parameterized, right? Like it will allow to pass the location to the YAML or the pipeline object, right? Or like like location to the tar file. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We're unifying those. I think 4 upload ways into a single way.
Okay, that makes sense. But then also we have other APIs like delete pipeline or
With list pipelines as well.
yes. So in this case, I would keep, for example, maybe run because it sounds like the most obvious API for the pipelines client, and then all other APIs like upload, pipeline, delete pipeline, and then list pipelines, get pipeline, and so on. I think it makes sense to keep it as it is. But I'm open for any other.
Yeah, I think the question is like whether in the future we want to upload something else like artifacts, right? Like, do we want to reuse this function to upload not just the pipeline, but maybe, you know, like any other things we can upload? Michael, yeah.
That is actually a good point. You know, I'm kind of more leaning towards being specific. You know, like upload pipeline, run pipeline. But again, this is not a strong opinion. But you made it a strong opinion, to be honest with that argument, because it does sound like a bulletproof option for us. You know, for future enhancements possibly. So.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I'm fine to start with maybe run and upload pipeline. I mean, we can definitely refine this moving forward. Again, I think Alex and also Michael, not Michael, I think Matt is agree on this. Like, I think we can double check with them today on the call, but, you know, I don't, you know, see the huge problem to code run. Call it upload pipeline for now. So I think it should be fine.
Cool. The next item, if we're ready to go, is the filtering. So in the filtering, here's the link. Oh, no, that's not very helpful. So copy link. Yeah, so when it comes to the filtering, again, the proposed filtering is like a lightweight filters instead of the using the pass-through from KFP client, because there might be I think for the simplification, it's better to use those lightweight simplified filters. But again, here we're waiting for the pipeline and Steam agreement.
Yeah, I think we agree that we're going to just have those filters initially, you know, pipeline, experiment, status if we need.
Yes, it's just there was a comment from Matt
Alex.
and Alex is in them. Okay, so Dr. Thorpe. Yeah, so I was just kind of waiting on a +1 from him, but I don't know, like, is your approval or go ahead enough here, or do we want like a, you know, their agreement as well?
Yeah, let me try to ping Alex and see, and Matt as well. Yeah, I think it's fine, definitely. I mean, we can definitely adjust it moving forward. I would say, you know, in parallel, just to not get you blocked, you can already start working on it, and we can just, you know, like adjust the filters because it's just a minor tweaks, right? We can do, and we can also update the cap in the future, right? If we decide to, you know, have some other filters being introduced. So my suggestion is to keep this cap in the future as well. So because we're gonna have multiple phases, right? So in any case, you need to update it moving forward. Once we support more APIs from KFP, right?
Yeah, and Andre, what's the process of like some of the items that we agreed on? Am I okay to just update the cap as it is, or would you rather wait for all the approvers and reviewers to have a look at it and then just push a single update to the entire document?
So I would say let's definitely update them and move forward. I think, like, you know, those, you know, because on the higher picture we all agree. I think on the APIs, right, we have this you know, like, what's it, 6 couple of APIs, right? Was it 8 or 10 APIs that we agree on the phase 1. I guess we can start with, I mean, you need to update this part, right? We need to update this part from the, you know, like from the recent discussion, and let's maybe focus on them. And then, you know, if, you know, KFP folks have more concerns, we can also address them in the follow-up, you know, PR or in this PR, because in the parallel you can start to do the work, right? I don't want you to be blocked by, you know, those discussions.
Sure, makes sense. So I'll push an update tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
As for the APIs, there is actually a couple more open items, right? So the APIs one, the kind of most the one that could affect us the most is the CRUD on the experiments.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Matt is of an opinion that we should have a CRUD on the experiments. That, from my understanding, would allow explicit creation of the experiments and managing the experiments. Right now, what I'm proposing is the implicit creation of experiments, so that when you create a run and the run is not specified, you use the default experiment. If you do specify the name of experiment and it's not there, we're just going to auto-create it. And it seems that we do have I think Anya there, as I guess this is LGTM, but yeah, Matt is, I think, he had a strong opinion here on the implementation. So we might wait for him with this. The other one is delete pipeline, accepting object. So Andre, I think this is something that you've raised, the client.delete pipeline, whether that should accept the pipeline object or not. In my opinion, it's a nice, friendly UX. But again, if you have a strong point against that, then I'm happy to go without
No,
it.
I think it's fine, definitely. I think we just need to be consistent with the naming of the parameter, right? Because I understand why you want to, bypass the ID and the object. I think I also asked this question to Matt, like, whether we need to have a way to pass, like, would it be easier to just pass ID everywhere? But I don't think, we get that from him, right, yet on the ID part.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
The other one is options parameter in the pipelines client. That's something you've raised, Andre, as well.
Yeah, I understand this point. Like, we don't need to introduce options for now, because I guess the name should be there, right? And options, we can extend it later. That makes sense.
Awesome. And the last open item is the upload pipeline versions as a separate API call. So this is a question from Alex, I think, to Matt, to share his thoughts on this. In general, I don't see a strong point for it, but I might be missing something. So I'm just hoping that Matt can shed some light on it as well. Have you any? Yeah, that's the bottom question there. Yeah.
I mean, Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
And sorry, and just the last item is on top of that, I just created an issue on the custom exceptions. I've seen someone has opened a PR already for it, so we might review it, and if that gets merged, we could leverage the changes.
Yeah, I think for the upload pipeline and upload pipeline version, again, my recommendation is to maybe keep one API and then version it. Like, for example, like if you bypass the version of the pipeline, you will basically upload a specific version of this pipeline. So we can play with this and see what parameter can be adjusted to upload the specific version. Or I guess, like, the upload pipeline version, from my understanding, is just if you have existing pipeline, but if you want to upload a new version, right, it will create a new version of the existing pipeline, correct? So basically, like, re-uploading the new version of the existing pipeline, which already in the in the artifact storage, right, on the KFP.
Yeah, so like from my understanding, the upload new version is just, like you said, applying a new version of existing pipeline. So in my opinion, a user doesn't necessarily need to see a difference between whether there's already a pipeline under the hood there or not. You just want to upload a pipeline, and you don't really care whether it's a version X or a version number 1, right?
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about, for example, like, imagine if user, passed the version as the parameter, we just check if the pipeline exists. We basically, load new version, right, of this pipeline. I just feel like, this could be one of the options how we can deal with this API, right?
Yeah.
That does make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, again, like speaking about the users, like internally and other folks, especially like on a train job side, like they kind of suggested us to keep the APIs minimal and maybe allow have more parameterization. That is why I was advocating towards consistent API across optimization job and the train job, because like our customers, they don't want to learn new API while they're switching between different ML experimentation. So they do training, they do optimization, maybe they do data processing. They want to stitch this in a single pipeline. So usually they don't want to learn new APIs, right? They want to use the same APIs everywhere across multiple clients. Ideally, they don't even want to manage multiple clients. But this is, I think, something we discussed before with Sat, how like, we can abstract this for them. But it's like separate from this discussion around KFP integration, right? Um, but I think the outcome from them was to keep the APIs, set of APIs minimal, but then parameterize it, right? To give them more options to configure. All right. Anything else here?
No, that's pretty much it. And I think, what do you think if we mention pretty much the same on the KFP call, or would we just ping Matt and Alex on the comments?
Let's maybe before KFP call, like Michael, if you have just 10 minutes after this call, let's try to summarize the open comments from that they have to them, and maybe we can have a quick conversation, in 2 hours, like to get you unblocked, right? And move forward.
Sure.
What
Yeah.
do you think? All right.
Yeah, that sounds good. I do have a document with all the links and everything. I just didn't want to paste it into the Kubeflow document because that's a whole page of links. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And in terms of implementation timeline, like what is your timeline, and like when you plan to implement this client on the KFP side?
I have not thought of it yet. However, I am like I did try it, on my machine, and I got a working build already. So I think it should be
Mhm.
it should be straightforward.
So I guess we're gonna push this client to the KFP repo, right? To the Kubeflow/pipelines repo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we only can adjust. Do we know when is the next release of KFP? Let me see. Because I guess like my question, when do you want to release the Kubeflow SDK 0.5? Like, any thoughts on the timeline from your perspective?
When is sorry, I haven't checked when is the next release.
Yeah, we need to double check with them. Like, I'm not sure. So 2.17 it will be released, right? So I don't think they have a tracking issue for now. We can definitely ask, but if we can have this as part of 2.17 and then like bump it to the Kubeflow SDK and then release it, so that will be really helpful, right, for us.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Another kind of, I think, discussion we should have with them, because I guess KFP today, we need to discuss with them like how regularly they release the KFP as a whole. Because I guess like the problem which we will face, and I think I talked about it before with Matt and other folks, that if we kind of like depend right now on the KFP release, which means like if we want to introduce new functionality to the pipelines client, we couldn't really release it to the customers unless we release the KFP, which means like we will have this dependency on the KFP release, and we should definitely talk with them at some point. Did you really have any conversation around those, release schedule and how we can coordinate with the KFP guys?
No, but it's a really good point. Yeah, so maybe I'll start a thread with them and yeah.
Yeah, let's try. Maybe it's a good point to discuss here. Anya?
Yeah, so from what I've seen is that they used to have a really frequent releases, more frequent that we have, like a few times a month. But having that Matt and Hamar has moved their focus internally. So I expect that the releases are not that frequent right now. So maybe we should check with other KFP maintainers, not Hummer and Matt specifically.
Okay, but they're still going to maintain the pipelines, right? The KFP
Oh yeah.
package.
But we
Okay.
also should include other maintainers too.
Yeah, let's definitely talk again. I think the client should be separated from the control plane. I understand like their motivation to keep them in the same place because they want to maintain the infrastructure, but it's more kind of technical problem than the problem of how we synchronize the releases. But like I guess this could be kind of North Star or like whether it should be a long-term goal to support those multiple clients, right? Within the unified SDK. Okay, anything else here? All right, so I guess then we really good. Like, super exciting to include KFP in the SDK. I think this is definitely will drive the adoption much more, and we should advocate it in a way how people use KFP, because again, KFP is the largest project across all the Kubeflow tools, and I know like we need to synchronize with you, either with Kale, right? Once you have this
Yes.
part in the
I,
Kubeflow
I,
SDK, so you can.
I was about to say that I don't want to push you folks to do something, but I was waiting for this
Yeah.
to do all the plumbing that I do manually and just use the SDK. So that's the case. So we have a first class consumer from you folks, and that's our vision since the beginning to make all the working groups collaborate.
Do we have an open issue for this?
Not yet, but it's on my to-do list. But you be a part of
Okay.
2.1. Are you correct? Yeah.
Yeah, let's try to track it somewhere. And I think this definitely should be in our, like roadmap planning and then the release plans, right? So we can integrate the KL with the Q plus the K. All right. So moving forward, so I don't want to get like edit this item around roadmap because I think we merged it a couple of weeks ago, right? Do you want to give a short? I think we haven't. Oh yeah, we haven't merged, right?
Still open. I updated and addressed all the comments under my PR for the roadmap. I think that's this one. I'm just waiting for Checkar to open the tracking issues for the items he has proposed to add. So I added those, but I think it makes sense to. Um, yeah.
Yeah, Tariq, I think since you're also on the call, if you can help, or maybe he already dropped. No, you're
Yeah,
here,
I'm
right?
here.
So,
Yep.
yeah, if you can help us with the Spark issue creation, it also will be
Yeah,
super
sure.
helpful.
I'll take it over. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so we can definitely merge this and go ahead. But overall, like, do you want to give a short overview, like what you're planning in 2026?
Yeah, sure. So the first is that we want to add the structured login support, and then we also have some integrations going on with the unified SDK, such as OpenTelemetry and MLflow. So it's going well. We also have an OpenTelemetry integration as a plan for GSOC students. So we just had several interviews with GSOC students. So that's going well. Also, one of the exciting item is the MCP server, Kubeflow MCP server that Abhijit is actively working on. Yeah, and then we also want to improve our documentation, tests, and everything else. We also need to provide the unified identification mechanism. SAT has proposed to adopt the KubeAuth package. So we are looking at that. And then we also have some items regarding each client. So there are a lot of items for the trainer client. We definitely need to support the multi-cluster environment. So that also the snapshot of users workspace, so that you don't need to just provide one function for your training job, but we can snapshot for all functions set. Dynamic LLM trainer framework, and lots of other items here. I'm not gonna go through each of them. Yeah, GPU support, and GPU checkpointing are important one, and then also the change of progress and lots of others. Yeah, we also have an optimizer client already in the unified SDK, so we need to support the local execution mode there. And then we also support the Spark client, so we have some items here that we need to add tracking issues to. Yeah, and then we also added recently the model registry client, so any items from that client we want to improve. Yeah, and in our roadmap, we need to have the integration with pipelines and Feast too. Yeah, that's the roadmap.
Yeah, I think definitely like looks great. Any questions from folks here on the call? Yeah, let's definitely, try to see how this, can empower users to do work much more efficiently and easier to use into, those Kubernetes native primitives. I think we definitely should, once we have the pipelines integration, think about what is their end user story, how those things can work together and, be used together. Like, for example, like we haven't published the blog post yet, right, for the survey results, which I guess, Akash, you plan to work on, right?
Share the draft, right? Like for the survey results.
Mhm.
Will we
Do-
discuss that now?
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely talk about it right now because I think the blog post will help us to kind of like see how we can prioritize roadmap items, right? Based on
Yeah.
customers' feedback.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about it quickly right now? What do you think?
I can talk. Do you want me to share the link?
Yes.
I think it will be there in the one of the previous agenda. Can you please check?
Yeah, it's here. Right?
Yeah. 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 So, I mean, just to context for everyone else, we had a survey that ran almost 1.5 months from I think December to Jan. So there are a lot of good suggestions, lot of customers and users share their pain points. So I tried, or like we tried to converge those data points and those questions into a blog. And I think, fortunately, a lot of the pain points that were mentioned, we are trying to address them actively in our next league. So that also I shared in the blog. I mean, thanks for everyone who submitted the blog or who submitted the Google Form survey link. Fortunately, most of them I try to relate in them how actively we are working with them. For example, like local execution, then AI assisted working, even GPU based working as well. So that's what I have tried explaining in the blog. I would love to know like suggestion from the everyone from the community. I think we discussed it sure like last to last our call. Once this is finalized, I can make a PR for the actual blog to the community to the blog repo. So yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, any feedback, anything extra we should add?
So those feedback you constructed based on the, anecdotes and the, like their 3-4 answers, right?
Yeah. For example, like the
Mm-hmm.
double quotes that I mentioned, those are like exact wordings where one of the users has shared.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just to highlight that, like, okay, this XYZ thing is actually causing issue to one of the user. That's what I tried highlighting there in the. Obviously, it doesn't cover all, like mostly
Mm-hmm.
like 4 points I think I have covered, but to sum it up, it's like it goes whatever the pain points most of the users shared, it goes into one of the four buckets. So
Mm-hmm.
I tried helping them,
Okay.
and I think next section, a lot of them, I mean, this is like very good coincidence. A lot of them we're actually working on our roadmap. So I tried relating the pain points with the active development of those features or those enhancements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and also like the majority of them, try to, think about model training, right? And how they can optimize the model development lifecycle, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, yeah, I think it's kind of like resonate what I've been talking before because, like usually like when they do the development of the ML models, they, like let platform teams optimize it and run it in production and serve the
Mm-hmm.
models at the end because, serving is all about optimizations. That is why I guess so today in the phase we are right now, Kubeflow SDK is more about how you develop your models, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what because we provide you a set of tools like like parameter optimization, training, data processing, model management, right? To actually
Mm-hmm.
build those AI models. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I think that makes sense to me as well. Um, yeah, so what we're working next, I guess, is kind of like our priorities, right? Based on the feedback.
Yeah. I mean, based on the current roadmap that we have, so I think some of them we are already working on. So that's what I
Mhm.
tried highlighting.
Would you be able to actually kind of like maybe link some of those discussions to our open issues and roadmap items? I think we talked about this before, right?
Do you mean like, let's say if one of the user asked, like, I think, let's say debugging ML workload, like, do you want me to link it to the issue itself?
Yeah, I think like for example, like debugging ML workloads is still painful, right? So I think the work that Rob and team is doing to have a progress bar with the
Mm-hmm.
trainer status can help with this issue. Similar to this, like in terms of the build, push, run cycle flow iterations. I think this could be connected to the like snapshotting and how we do the from function creation, um, like resource management, observability tools, and also things
Mm-hmm.
around like we have this issue around automated GPU assignment, right, in the trainer
Yeah.
repo. Um, so it would be nice to maybe guide folks to like what community is working on and maybe how can get engaged. What do you think? Um,
Uh, I agree with that idea. I mean, but I personally think like don't you think like the best place would be next section, like this section,
mhm.
where
Okay.
instead of like we have two sections, right? Key developer feedback and what we are working on next.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah, yeah.
I
Makes
mean, if
sense.
we mention here exactly here, uh, will it be better, or what do you think?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I agree. I think we definitely have, yeah, because we have the section to, address the initial discussions, right? We can definitely
Mm.
link. Maybe let's link directly the issues here, right? From
Yeah,
this we have
exactly.
open issues.
Yeah, sure. I think I'll add links. Or I mean, what I'll do since this is like Google Doc, if
Yep,
everybody in the company agrees, I'll directly raise a PR and that I'll add instead of adding here and then in a blog. Unless, of course,
yep.
there is a major changes in this template.
Yes, yes. I think that makes sense. What are other things like in terms of the, the overall structure of the blog post?
I think these two are what we have shared. Like now, like one of the other feedback or thing I think we can try next because the number of responses that we got were like around I don't know I think 35 or something. So these data points are really good considering that number. But apart from that, one like suggestion or maybe something we can do is like I'm pretty sure we might have been doing, but I'm not aware. So can we like take this survey or run these survey just before KubeCons or like let's say North America or Europe KubeCon? So I mean something like this, like when someone visits our booth, we can ask them not just for SDK, maybe like overall Kubeflow booth. We can ask, okay, thanks for like seeing here. Here are a few surveys. Maybe you can check out and submit the blog. So that way, I think we'll get a very good audience considering just like asyncly running that survey link in the Slack. Like that's what I think. I mean, one way we can increase our scope of audience who are filling the forms.
Yes, I think we've done this before. So we run this service for a couple of years before for the overall Kubeflow tools and all the projects. I think like we just try to make the survey more focused to understand, how we can, what things we should prioritize in terms of roadmap for the Kubeflow SDK. But yes, like, working with the outreach team and asking them to prepare the survey before KubeCon, this is definitely something, would be nice to have.
Yeah, and I think if not like overall, I think if I remember for Europe, Anya and Abhijit has had a talk also for SDK. Maybe end of that talk, they can share this link that hey, we are running a survey. Please let me know your thoughts. So even if there is talk, a lot of very good users and audience pull up there. So maybe one way we can have more users for this is the like to just to make sure we market it to actual users to actually where we are demonstrating Kubeflow and like Kubeflow SDK capabilities.
Okay. Any other thoughts on this?
What I'll do, I'll share the link again in the Slack channel. Maybe
Mhm.
by end of Friday or something, I'll raise a PR. But yeah, if there are any suggestions from people who are here or anyone in community, let me know. They can directly comment in the Google Doc. I'll make sure that is incorporated in the PR.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I think, like that's we summarizing all the discussions we ask, right, from the users, right? All the kind of high level questions, right?
Yeah.
In the survey. Okay, sounds good. All right, so moving forward, so the MCP quickly for that about MCP server, like I know we pushed the initial kind of structure for the repo. I think we have more PRs to add some tools to the trainer client. So Abhijit is not here right now, right? Not on the call.
Yeah, he's not there. He shared the PR, like in second PR is something that he's asking for feedback. Apparently, it's like
Hmm.
quite fix, but I mean, more or less, a few things I have tested locally, at least when we were working on together.
Hmm.
So, I mean, do let us your thoughts. The thing is, this is again a very like fundamental or functional addition, not very detailed in things are added here, just a basic skeleton
Hmm.
and those. Because once that is added, then I think we can ask other contributors or other like potential GSOC mentee as well to start working on this. So that's why for
Hmm.
now, at least we have not encouraged anyone to open any issue or anything like that. This is like just for internal, like not internal exactly, but review from uh, leads and working group for now.
Yeah, let's
So I
definitely
think,
start, with go turn
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think this is the what do you say? This is the main PR. Next two PRs are simple, like community notes and few CI. This is the main PR, at least for the bare bone structure of the repo. So once I think this is finalized or this is reviewed, I think we are good to go. Other two PRs are like comparatively shorter and simpler.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, like, I guess you kind of register this as a plugin, right? So we can install this in Cloud, right, directly. And
Yes.
I think you have some skills, right? And in the
Yeah.
skills, do you describe like which MCP tools agent can use?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we need to talk about because I know skills has a specific structure where you can allow or decline tools. Like in the Anthropic documentation, you can see how you can say, for example, this skill can access, bash, read, GH.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
guess you can also say this skill can access this set of MCP tools. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so but I think it's fine. I think overall looks great. Like I will definitely take a look and let's. If anyone interested, to get engaged in MCP server, let us know. I think we need to kind of socialize this effort more, and I think once we have this kind of initial release, we should put this to the Anthropic repo, so folks aware that they can use, they can integrate their agents with the Kubeflow tools, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Anya.
Yeah, thank you. I was trying to review this PR, but it's really huge, and I put a comment there and asked if Abhijit can split that in a few PRs, but he seems to say that um, yeah, there are some dependencies, so he was asking for your feedback. Other than that, I also wanted to say that it would be nice if we could add some issues that the community can jump in and help contributing with, because it looks like there's only like Abhijit who is driving that, which is great, but I think we could move faster with more contributors.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. What we thought of, we have like a roadmap file where we have like small issues. Uh, the only concern was, I mean, not exactly concern, but yeah, more of us like once we have the best bone structure ready, then other people, like other contributor can start contributing. Right now, we still have few things pending. So obviously, we'll create few issues, mostly like just what we have planned in the roadmap. But I mean, until unless like these two or three PRs are post or like merged, a new contributor will have very limited of things that he or she can like work on. And also, we
Yeah.
initially thought because to avoid any spams, so like to make sure that at least our bare structure is ready, then we'll give a definite number of issues. Okay, these are the few things that we are looking for phase 2. We divided, I think, to phase 3 or 4. So yeah, sure. I mean, once I think this is ready, we'll create issues for people or for contributor to work on.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing for you to, help you with the implementation. So mark them as a good first issue, and maybe you can update the README to say if you want to work something, assign the issue to you, and start proposing some topics. But the best thing is I think you already have this README to join these calls, right? And express your interest to contribute, right? Okay.
One more thing on this. So, I mean, me and Abhijit, we submitted a talk for this MCP server for this idea. At least once we submitted that was idea. So that got accepted in Open Source Summit India. So that is happening on 16th of June and in Mumbai, just before the KubeCon India. So yeah, we'll see. We are very
This is definitely great. I mean, exciting to talk about it more. I think we should definitely socialize this effort across MCP folks. I know like one of the examples. So one of the things we've done previously, so MCP has this catalog, like let me show you MCP registry. Not this one. So yeah, so they have a list of a list of community maintained servers here, and previously we added the Kubeflow Spark. I think it should be somewhere here, but basically, it's the Kubeflow Spark server. So we should see how we can add this server to their list, and then we can like socialize this efforts across global community. So keep it posted. All right. Anything else here? So I think then we definitely on track. So let's try to finalize the KFP integration, I guess, into the release of 0.5. Like, are we planning to have it after the Kubeflow pipelines been in the Kubeflow SDK? Like, what do we think we should release first?
I don't think we have that many features in the SDK except pipelines. So it really depends on whether we have some PRs added there. If not, I think we could wait for the pipelines client to be in the unified SDK.
Yeah, that sounds good. Eventually, as we discussed before, let's try to target more frequent releases. And I know we have like a lot of PRs, and I know Fiona can also help us with review, but we need more people to help us to merge them, because I think we have like around 74 PRs right now, and it's definitely like there are a lot of things folks are working on. So let's get them unblocked, and let's try to merge this to enhance the experience, right? All right, sounds great. Thanks everyone for your time then. See you soon, and let's definitely keep you posted for any other updates from this side. Right. Thanks guys. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.